hello, and welcome to another edition of Health Solutions with Shawn and Janet Needham, where Team Needham discusses everything healthcare. I'm your host, Shawn Needham, along with my wonderful wife, Janet, and we are streaming live from the Team Needham Abode podcast studio, and we are super excited to have Stephen Lashbrook on our show today. We met him at an event in Seattle called A Healing Humanity, where they're making a movie about how carnivore has eating carnivore, going carnivore lifestyle has changed people's lives. And actually, we heard Stephen present there, and it has actually saved his life. So he's going to be sharing his journey. Stephen, welcome to our show.
Good morning. Hello. Thank you for having me.
So introduce yourself a little bit and tell us how you got to the point of going carnivore and being on our podcast.
Sure. I suffered most of my life with depression and suicidal thoughts. And then around the age of 20, I was diagnosed with psoriasis and then psoriatic arthritis. The psoriasis, they were trying to treat me at that point with steroid creams, and that didn't really do anything to help. It kind of kept it at bay here and there a little bit. So I also tried dealing with it through diet and reading all the books on psoriasis and psoriasis diets and how to get rid of psoriasis with diet. And all of it was basically don't eat red meat, eat vegetables. So I was very vegetable heavy dieting, lots of different green juice diets and raw vegetable diets and vegetarian type of eating. None of that did anything to help me. And when I stopped all the steroid creams, I went through steroid withdrawal, which made all the skin even worse than it was before. My skin got worse and worse and worse throughout my life. The depression got worse and worse. Basically caused me sleeplessness for 30 years. I slept an average of 2 hours a night, I'd say, for most of that 30 years. And the pain was severe. It was chronic pain on a daily basis. Arthritis pain, throbbing, constantly swelling, bloated, itching, bleeding. A miserable existence that kept getting worse. And then I lost my health insurance for many, many years and basically just tried to deal with it, on my own. And that didn't go well, and everything got worse and worse and worse. And about the age of, I'll be 50 this September. So about the age of 45, 46, it was so bad that I didn't want to exist anymore. Going through a day was just impossible. I could barely move. I felt like I was trapped in a concrete shell of burning and itching and pain. And my depression was getting worse and worse. My suicidal thoughts were more rampant. And I went back to the doctors to see if there was anything new, if there was anything, updated from the last 20 years where I didn't have any medicine. And they started offering me different things. And everything they offered me was basically just a cover up and immune suppressing drugs, which I was really scared of. And so I refused. I tried UVB treatment again. That did nothing to help me. And my last doctor visit, I went in and he offered me these 2 injections to go into my stomach every couple months for the rest of my life. And he said, this is basically the last thing I can offer you. And I asked him about the side effects. And when he got to the suicidal and depression part of the side effects, I said, well, you're definitely going to kill me. And I said, I'm not going to let you kill me. I won't, put that on you. I said, I'm going to go home and end my life. And so I came home that day to tidy up everything and start making my goodbyes and write my final letter to the world of why I have to leave. And that day, Michaela Peterson, her story came across my phone somehow. And I call it a miracle because I don't even know how this story came to me. And it gave me a new thought and a new look on life and new possibilities, because what she suffered from and what her dad suffered from and what her mom suffered from, they all cured all these things, and they all seem to thrive and flourish with this new way of eating. So I didn't want to end my life. Like I never did. I have so many dreams and things that I wanted to fulfill. So I decided to give that a try. And I basically started out on an elimination process and worked my way up to full Lion. And at this point, I've been on the Lion diet for about 370 days or so. Or no, 570 days since January 1st of 2024. And I am 99.9% free and clear of psoriasis. And yeah, you can
tell us about these pictures. It's, Janet and I are, as you know, probably know, Stephen, Janet and I are pharmacists, and we hear these stories that are so compelling. And that's one of the reasons we don't believe in drugs to treat long-term disease, because we've seen people heal themselves with diet. So tell us about these before and after pictures.
So yeah, I really never tried to take a lot of pictures of my skin. And then when I started this journey, I realized I had to shoot some pictures of how horrible I looked, even though I didn't want to. People with psoriasis are we're very closed off to the world, and we don't want to show our skin. So yeah, I lived with this nastiness for so long, and it was so painful. I also lost 70 pounds. As you can see, my body changed dramatically. I didn't even realize I was 70 pounds overweight. Just looking at that, it makes me, it just hurts.
I'm sure it does.
It's hard to tell this story, but like, this story is so necessary to tell. Yeah, it just started taking over my entire body. And you can see there in my stomach, and that spread out from my stomach all over. I mean, my entire, from that point down, was covered. And so you can imagine how awful that was. But yeah, it started disappearing. Like, the first thing to disappear was basically the brain fog and the itching. And those were the first two things I noticed. I noticed more mental clarity, and I noticed I wasn't itching as much. And then every spot would start to shrink. And I could literally go from day to day and watch each spot like progressively shrinking on my skin, and my skin like completely clearing up. Like, this is insane. Like, I prayed every night for 30 years. Like, I wanted one day in a normal body, just to see what it would feel like to be a normal human being and go through one day of life normal. And like, to have 570 days of this is beyond normal. This is like, this is a miracle body that I'm in now. I cannot stop, and I won't stop trying to spread this word to everyone who has these diseases and health issues and autoimmune conditions, because they can all be eliminated with this diet.
Jan, I bet you have some questions for Stephen.
Oh man, that's a lot to unpack. But I mean, that's a very powerful story, because, like Shawn said, we see and we've been looking from the medical side into people's lives for a long time, and we realized that people were just getting sicker. They weren't healing. So this is so pivotal for us. This is so exciting that, we have people like yourself coming forward and sharing your story, because there are so many people suffering, and it is sad and it's tragic. And, the hope that people lose when they just get like, well, here's another shot, here's another med. So explain to us what you're doing now to get your story out, because I think that is really important for people to hear, and how you can help them.
So yeah, a little about 13 months ago, I did my first interview with Carrie Mann from Homestead How. And yeah, my mom was real adamant about me getting my story to him. And she also has gone carnivore and cured so many different issues, and gone off 45 years of medications. So she's doing amazing. And yeah, so she got me onto this getting interviewed thing, and Carrie kicked it off. God bless him. He's amazing. And then I basically reached out to all the main doctors, to Sean Baker, to Anthony Chafee, Dr. Kiltz. So I've interviewed with every one of them at this point. I've gone to 4 carnivore meetups now: Seattle, Arizona, Palm Springs, Las Vegas. I just did last weekend, and I was interviewed for the Healing Humanity documentary, which I'll be in. So that'll be out next year. That is literally going to change the world, I believe. So yeah, complete honor just to be part of that. And yeah, so I just doing interview after interview after interview. I've done with Bella, with gosh, there's so many now at this point. Dave Mack. I know I'm missing a bunch, but it's early. And yeah, so yeah, no, I want to share my story with the world. And I started a YouTube channel. I started a GoFundMe to try and open an actual place. I call it the Carnivore Healing Retreat. It exists in my mind currently. And I'd like to open basically Camp Carnivore, where people can come and learn this way of life, and I can help guide them, through the process for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to kick this thing off. And I'm also doing a coaching certificate course with Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Nelson. So yeah, just trying to do everything I can at the moment. Spread the good word.
So what is your GoFundMe so we can share it?
Yeah, GoFundMe.com/Carnivore Healing Retreat. And if you go there, it will basically, you'll see my goal and my dream, my vision for what I want to do. Basically, I'd like to have a few acres of land in the Southwest, in the mountains, someplace with 300 days of sunshine a year, where people can come and just let go and learn everything they can while they're there, and learn how to cook, learn how to meditate, learn how to do yoga, learn how to change their way of eating, learn how to change their clothing and their health products in the house, or cleaning products, and basically everything, the whole life. It's not just what you eat. It's what you wear. It's what the soap you put on, the lotion that you use. If it's everything. It's an entire life change. And I kind of went through a down point during this journey before I went full lion. My first stint of holidays, while I was doing the elimination process, I kind of relapsed because I was alone, and it was hard for me not having anyone like being there on a daily basis to help me. Like, look, this is what you have to keep doing this. You have to stay committed. So when the holidays came around and the loneliness kind of made me go into a depression of loneliness during the holidays, and I was like, oh, I'll just have one piece of pie at Thanksgiving just to, deal with this loneliness. And that kind of that threw me into a whirlwind for the whole rest of that year. And I got so sick again, and skin started getting worse, mental, everything got and that's when I really realized, holy crap, what I was doing was really helping. I cannot go back to that life ever again. And if I had someone there with me, or if I had a place that I could have went, I really wouldn't have gone through that, extra month and a half of hell that I did. And so, yeah, I'd like to start something that people can come to, and I can help them.
That would definitely be wonderful. I don't think, because the way the medical system failed you happens time and time again.
Oh.
We've seen it for the last 30 years. Most people in your situation with, psoriasis and skin conditions, just name a chronic disease, they never get better when they go to the doctor.
Nope.
In fact, they get sicker. The next thing you know, instead of being on 2 meds, you're on 10 meds. And then, you're on 30 meds.
For the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life. It's like, well, how long am I going to take these? Well, for the rest of your life. This disease is not curable. And yet the doctors don't talk about nutrition. Not once
did I ever get asked, what are you eating? Not once, not by any doctor. Matter of fact, every time I left the doctors throughout my life, I felt worse than when I walked in their office. And I would leave the doctors in bawling and going, how is this ever gonna fix? Because they keep telling me this is lifelong. You're stuck with this. And not one of them offered me, not even one of them talked about vegetables. Even all the psoriasis books I read were eat vegetables, just eat vegetables, don't eat red meat. But yeah, there's at least 125 million people in this country alone suffering from psoriasis. And psoriasis is, as there's different forms. There's at least 10 different types of psoriasis, and mine came with the arthritis part, which was really bad. And the pain from the arthritis, it feels like it shoots out of the inside of your joints. And so at night I would throb and just pains and spasms of pain. And I don't want anyone to have to go through this. And they don't have to be on drugs for the rest of their life.
I think that's probably the biggest myth or lie that we have heard going through our medical training as pharmacists. And there was a point where we just reached a point what's going wrong? Why is this like this? And I think the elephant in the room is nutrition and food has just been eliminated from any part of the discussion of healing, which is just strange because, if your cat got sick, they would maybe adjust the food or change the food, right? But with humans, we've vilified probably the one thing that seems to be healing people, and that's red meat. And how many people out there in the world can't eat red meat? That's extremely rare. So it's kind of strange. It's the one thing that would get us over to the side of thriving and healing has been vilified. So, what do you think we should do? I mean, so from our perspective, I mean, we try to get the word out there, but what do you think we should do as just average person as to unvilify the thing that is helping us?
I mean, unfortunately, the average person doesn't know any better. They've all just, been led astray, which is why people like us have to be so out there about this. I'm not your average person anymore. I can guarantee you that. I'm beyond average. I am a rock star. I am a superstar. I'm on a mission from God. And so my goal is to educate. And that's all we can do. If the powers that be will not educate, we need to stand up as people who are healing and spread this and educate as much as possible. And that is my ultimate mission now in life, is to literally educate as many people as I can and break through. And, with psoriasis, most people with psoriasis suffer in silence, and they build up a giant wall around them, and they don't go out into society as much. They hide from the world, they cover up. And, I don't want to see anyone suffering in silence like that. It's sad.
It is very sad. And we've seen it for the last 30 plus years of our career. And that's one of the reasons that Janet and I changed our opinions about pharmacy. We think it's very powerful that, two pharmacists that don't believe in drugs to treat long-term disease, that's a pretty powerful statement. And we're trying to do exactly what you're talking about. Our goal of this podcast is to educate and empower individuals to take charge of their own health. That's the only way we're going to fix the system. I don't think the system is really fixable that easily. I mean, I'm not going to give up on it, but the ultimate fix of health is for individuals to take charge of their own health. That's the only way we're really going to get over this. I got to ask Stephen, this is a personal question. So do you go to the doctor anymore?
No, I haven't been to the doctor since I think 2020. Well, I think it would sometime in 23. That was the last visit, I think. Yeah, I don't.
Wow.
I've never felt this good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. I was going to say, looking at your before and after pictures, and I when I met you in person, I had never seen you when you were sick. When I meet you in person, you look like an athlete. You look awesome. It looks like you could go run miles, jump miles, do whatever you wanted to do. And I think as humans, that's what we should look like, no matter our age. We should be thriving, not just surviving. Do you think in your, going through this journey like this, do you think it's purposeful that the medical system, the healthcare system, wants to keep people sick?
So I have a theory.
Go.
So basically, my theory is it's a giant circle of profit, right? So everybody's in bed together. The food companies, the drug companies, the medical companies, the government, right? They're all in bed together, and they're all making money off of you staying sick, right? So you buy the food that makes you sick, right? And then you're, okay, I'm sick. Let's go to the doctor. All right. Well, here's a Band-Aid prescription for your sickness. But keep eating what you're eating, because we need you to stay sick so you can come back and keep spending money on us, right? So every single person in this circle is profiting from this. So my belief is that it's obviously the system is built to keep us down and keep us sick and keep us spending money on their food and their healthcare, which doesn't work.
Well, you're a perfect example, and that's why I asked you. For the last 2 years, you have not been their customer.
Nope.
And when you were on all those expensive drugs, which, as pharmacists, we know those things are thousands and thousands of dollars a month. So the system was making hundreds of thousands of dollars on you a year, probably. And now they're making nothing.
Right.
So you've got to really ask, does the system really want us to get better? And you've probably done a lot of research on other diseases too, but type 2 diabetes is another example.
Easily curable. Like the most easily curable disease.
It's easier, right? It's easier than curing your disease,
right?
And not taking away from yours.
No, because I still have, still have some pain. I still have, like, it's going to take longer. I did damage for, obviously it's a degenerative disease that I had. So my joints are degeneratively messed up from the arthritis over, 30, 40 years, but they're getting better. And like you said, I feel like, I told Dr. Kiltz the other night, I said, I feel like I could go run a marathon right now. Like,
you look like you could.
No, I'm literally, like, I'm not huge. I'm not like giant muscle man, but I am in shape.
You're lean. You're lean and fit. That's what a
lean and
man should
fit.
look like.
I did yesterday on a live. We were doing a live stream, Kiltz's live stream, I believe, and I was doing some yoga, and I attempted this floating plank that I haven't attempted in like 20 some years. And I actually pulled it off and held it. And it's one of the hardest yoga moves ever, to hold a floating plank. And it's crazy looking when you do it. And I actually did it live 3 times on camera. And I was like, holy crap. Like, I couldn't even believe how strong that I'm getting. I had no idea I was that strong right now. And like, yeah, I work out 4 times a week. I go bodyboarding, I go camping, hiking, biking. I'm a whole new human.
I love it. That's so liberating. I mean, just what a powerful story. So you have lots of fans there, Stephen. I'm gonna stream some of their comments. Christy Yorkie, hello everyone, here to support Lash. She's coming a few times. She's from Facebook.
She's been amazing. She's been helping me out with so many things, because I don't have a clue what I'm doing as far as like social media and this and that. But
you're doing a great job. And then on YouTube, you've got a pretty good YouTube following. Alicia Davison, good morning. Love hearing Lash's story. And then on Facebook, there's a Barb Harrell. Lash amazing. What a powerful story. So I just wanted you to know that they were watching and you can say hi to them.
That's great. Hello, everybody.
So let's see if I can get your for some reason the internet wasn't letting me pull up your GoFundMe page, but I am going to pull up your Instagram page, which is the
it's been up for about a year, and I'm already like 4,340. Yeah, I'm getting there. Not bad for a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
awesome.
I get a lot of emails on that Instagram account every day, people asking for advice, and I love being able to respond and chat with people. So like, if you happen to see this, please know that, like, if you hit me up, I will respond. Absolutely respond to every single person.
I love it. I love it. So as we wrap this up, Stephen, tell us what you have a passion for. I think it's pretty obvious, but tell us what you have a passion for.
So my biggest passion in like my whole life has been photography. I've been a photographer since the age of 11. And one of the coolest things about carnivore and my whole change is, since I went Lion, about a month into Lion, I got to photograph the biggest job I've ever had in my entire photography career. And I'd worked my whole life towards this goal and never gave up. And that was to shoot a giant album cover. And so, real quick, this is the CD, but I got to photograph this for Ice Cube as a lion.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So biggest accomplishment in my entire photography career right here. Yeah. So that's my biggest passion, as far as, besides carnivore and spreading the word, has been my, life as a photographer. But yeah, like, I could give up. I'm also a musician. I play percussion in a reggae band. And I also have a full-time job, but I would literally give up all of that to be able to run the Carnivore Healing Retreat full-time and literally just help people. And that's what I want to do. That's my I feel like I'm on a mission from God, and like I have no other choice but to not stop about this. And like I'll never put down my camera, and I'll never put down my drums. But my biggest passion in life now is to help change people's lives for the better and heal humanity.
I love it. So
yeah.
Some of our, as well as us, some of our listeners and viewers can hear a cat in the background. Can you show us your kitty?
Come here, kitty.
Maybe.
Come here.
Can you catch him?
Come on. Come on. Okay. Okay. Let's see. All right. Let's see.
Oh, it's
Let's
a
see.
big
That is a big, that's a big cat. Oh,
She's
what a
very
beautiful
tall.
cat.
Now watch this. Watch this. Kitty, can I have a kiss? Can I have a kiss? Thank you. All right. Say bye to the people.
I love it.
She's awesome. She's been my best friend for 12 years. She's been my best friend.
Yeah. So I got to ask, are you going to Hack Your Health in Tampa in November? Have you heard of that one?
I haven't. I haven't decided on if I can do that or not yet. I would love to. I would love to literally be at every single event I can be. The only way I get to events is through donations, through the GoFundMe, and I just otherwise I can't afford it on my regular. But yeah, I definitely want to get down there. So if you guys have room for me, if I show up, please have a please have a seat for me somewhere. But yeah, that's my goal is to eventually hit as much as possible. I mean, I love going to these events, and I'm getting better at the whole public speaking thing. Dr. Kiltz has been really pushing me to realize that I can do this, and I'm a public speaker, and yeah.
Yeah, your story is very powerful. Thank you for sharing it today. We're going to see you sometime, somewhere at one of these events again. So absolutely. I appreciate you being on our show, Stephen. You've helped us realize our goal, which is to educate and empower individuals to take charge of their own health.
Amen. Thank you guys for having me so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for everybody.
And listeners and viewers, and listeners and viewers, thank you for tuning in to Health Solutions with Shawn and Janet Needham. Tune in Monday to our regularly scheduled podcast. Let's see, she's got a question. Oh, Christy York says we will find a way to get you there. So that's a good sign. We might see you in Tampa.
Would love to.
Yeah, we'd love to. All right.
Awesome.
So, and listeners and viewers, tune in to our regularly scheduled podcast Monday, 12:30 to 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. Thank you for tuning in.